Well, welcome everybody. I'm Joe Slifko. This is our professional development for ACE business faculty, and the agenda tonight's an agenda that we can that I think will really help us get through things, especially talking about this assessment stuff. The assessment has changed a little bit at the college this year. Not really too much on your end in terms of what we're doing as an institution. The assessment is really ramped up the stuff that I have to do. But if we can get some help from you, that'd be fantastic. The agenda I have in the packet that I've handed out. So I'll refer to this and probably the handbook, the faculty guide that's also included. So we'll take a look at those things. But the most important thing that I like to talk about and lead off about is any course-specific discussion. Most folks in here are teaching accounting classes, and you've taught them before. I think for the most part, everybody, except maybe Beth. If you have any questions, anything I can do, just in general, before we get into it about the accounting classes, we'll take a look at the practice set and that common assessment here, and the grading rubric that Dan Kirch, when he was here, he left us for Penn State, but he developed this common assessment that we're still using, because it's a pretty good comprehensive one. So we'll continue to use that. We'll take a look at it on my peak. So anytime we're going through, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. The course outline, we do ask you to give the syllabus to the students who are ACE students in your class. And on that syllabus, the most important thing on that syllabus is achieving the competencies. And we're competency based at the college. If you want to change the order and what you cover in some areas, or that's fine, as long as all competencies are met on the syllabus. If you're not using our textbook, that's okay too, as long as the textbook that you are using allows you to achieve all the competencies on that for that particular course. The course outline, at the last page of the syllabus will be the course outline for the year. Now our course outline is developed based on a 15-week semester. So obviously you may have to change it if you're teaching the course over a whole year. You're going to have to put an addendum on and change that. And we ask that you attach that addendum to the syllabus and give it to the students, kind of so they know what to expect there. A couple other questions I get about the syllabus is our grading scale may be different than yours. Our A is 90, 80, 70. So if the student scores 92, that may be a B in some high schools, but that would be an A for our purposes. Okay. We only ask that you put the grades in one time at the end of the year, that you put a grade in for the student. You don't have to use our resources as a grade book or anything like that. Just at the end of the year, at the end of your course, if you would put in only two pieces of information, the grade for the student and their last day of attendance. And that might be the day you give the final exam for the course or whatever you determine as the last day of attendance. So, common assessments we're NACEP accredited. We're one of two colleges in the state of Pennsylvania, the National Alliance of Concurrent Enrollment Partnerships. We earned our accreditation last year. So everything we do in this program, from these professional development evenings to common assessments, it's all related to those NACEP standards. And the beauty of that is it also gets us in line with middle state standards. So we're in good shape there. But the common assessments there's a common assessment for every course that we offer out there through ACE. And if you're doing a marketing course, there's a project that we do in marketing. In accounting, it's the practice set. So we have it identified everywhere, and everybody will use the same thing and the same grading rubric to assess these things. And that's how we can say that it's apples to apples going on. As I said in the other room, though, we're only going to ask you, I'll only ask you to submit that common assessment in the year that you're visited. So I think, what was it, Karen, a couple years ago I visited.
Last year.
Was it last year? These meld together. Beth, I have to set up a visit for you, so you and I can do that. But at the end of that, when you're done teaching that year, that semester, by those due dates we talked about in the book, we'd like you to submit that to us. That way we can get a look at it, and we can I don't care that it came from Beth's class or whose class it comes from. I kind of aggregate all of this as it comes back in and look at any trends as to what's going on in the class. And if people are finding there are problems, in the class, then we make some changes to the course or possibly even the program. And that's what we use it for. So we're not just asking you to collect paper for us and everything. Honestly, we're using it. And I have an example later. I'll show you a marketing class and some of the changes that we made to that based on what we found through some of these assessments. Okay. That's pretty much it for the first part of the meeting in terms of the expectations and everything. So far so good, folks? Okay. So on pages 7 and 8 in the faculty guide, we talk about assessment. Dr. Murray asked me to write up a little piece on assessment about a month or so ago. So here's what I came up with. We talked a little bit about why we do it. And the bottom line as to why we do it is kind of in the last sentence of that paragraph. Good assessment will lead to improvements at the course and program levels. That's really why we do it. We want to make it better for the students as we continue to go through. How we do it, and under there I kind of wrote a step-by-step thing as to how we're going to do this as we formalize this process. Please give the assessment to your class. Grade the items per departmental requirements. Like we've got that grading rubric for the practice set. Complete the assessment form, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then submit an A, C, and an F level assessment. If you have an A, C, and an F level assessment, sometimes in smaller classes, you might not have a C or an F level. You might just have A's and B's. And if you just give me a couple of those back, that would be fantastic. So I'll skip to this packet if you would for me. Oh, one last thing. Those due dates again. For fall-only terms, it's January 15th of 2016. For spring semesters and for full-year classes, we'd like the assessment returned by May 13th. Again, only in the year that you're visited will this department ask for your assessments. Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Sure. The A, C, and F level, what's that refer to?
The students' grades on the practice sets.
What they got in the practice set.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. Just what they got in that common assessment. One of each of those, if you have them. If they have the grade range spread out that much. Sometimes I have, or once in a while, like this semester, I have a labor management relations course. And their big assessment they're using is I have them negotiate a contract at the end. And I grade that using the rubric and everything. These folks who I have in the class, they're students I've had before. They're really good students. There's no way from any of these groups that I'm going to get a C-level assessment. They're just not that caliber of students. So when I put mine in at the end of the semester for that class, it's probably going to be, there are two groups negotiating against it. It's probably going to be 2 A projects is what I anticipate. And that's okay. I mean, that's just the way it is with these folks. Now, we have another full-time faculty member, a part-time faculty member, an adjunct. He's teaching the course also. So I'll just aggregate his stuff with mine and we'll see what comes of it. So. But anyway, if we take a look at this pack behind the agenda, this is the form. This is the new assessment form. It's not, we've been using the college for a couple of years, but this is the assessment form we'd like you to complete. And if you take a look at it, just your name, the course name, the semester you're teaching in, chances are it's going to be a face-to-face course that you check off. You can check on the high school box and write your high school name in. And then it just gives you your choice. If it's like a fall-only class, or a spring-only class, please check the 15-week class. Otherwise, it's probably going to be a full year for you. And then what it is. What assessment method we're using. Well, what we're going to be using in here would probably be a course. I guess that'd be close enough to a capstone project to put it as a capstone project for this. So you can check capstone project. On your syllabus, if you take a look at your Accounting 110 syllabus, there will be learning objectives on there. And the project will be related to one of those learning objectives. And that's just what you could just even handwrite that in there. Please indicate the learning outcome. based on the syllabus, what the project is looking at. As a result, what did the students do? If we say that 70% are going to complete the practice set at an A or B level or whatever, what did you find when you went through? What happened with your group of kids? And then on the back, what about next time? What can we do to improve it? And it seems like a lot of stuff to fill in, but honestly, I put another form in there for you right behind this one, and this is an actual form that was sent in by one of our adjuncts, and this is all there is to completing the form. So just submit that along with your sample projects, and we will be absolutely golden.
Jim, is this somewhere on the MyPeak page or the ACE page where we can fill it in by computer and type it, or do you want this form just recreated? And
You could. I'm working with Melissa on that. I would love it if we could just get in and fill it out, and if you could scan the projects and send them to us, and we could do it all via PDF. So we're working on that to see how we can get that on.
Okay.
So what do you think so far? So good, folks?
What are some examples of like the final project?
Oh, I can get on and show you what it looks like and everything. Okay. When you log in, when you come up to our page, you can log into your MyPeak page. Oops, that's going in. And you're going to see my MyPeak page has a lot more tabs than yours might, because I'm full-time and involved in a million different things here. But you'll go under the ACE tab, and this is a dual enrollment. We'll go under the business on the left side, we'll hit the business, and then let's look at ACC 110, Principles of Accounting. And in ACC 110, my contact information and all that stuff, but there is a ton of stuff out here. Sample exams, quizzes, all of that. You're free to use that or not to use it. But the important thing is here, besides the syllabus, the important thing is here is the practice set and the instructions for everything there. So, do you all have a copy of the text that we use on campus here?
Is it that green one?
Yeah, I think so.
Paperback?
Mhm.
It says my coach in it, it's not a coach or something.
Okay, good. So if you don't have it, let me know and we'll make sure we get a copy to you. Okay. But anyway, the project is kind of right here. Oh. And you notice it's done in Excel, and all the tabs for everything that you're going to need are right along the bottom for the kids to use. So it's set up really well. It's going to be easy for them to. It's going to be easy for the kids to put in what they need to put in. And of course, if you have any questions, you all know me, have my information. Give me a call. Give me a call. Let me go back. The directions and very, very straightforward directions, related to this. Look on pages, whatever, and then you're good.
That's almost like those reinforcement
It
activities.
is.
Yeah.
It is. It's just a 2 month, it's 2 months.
That is what this is?
2 months, yeah, 2 monthly physical periods. So you have to do adjusting and closing twice.
Okay.
When do you do it, Karen? Do you wait till the end, or do you do
No,
it midway? Do you
because
do it when
I know
you think
we-
it corresponds with your
Mhm.
textbook?
Yeah, we
Okay.
usually end up doing it in December and January.
Okay.
That's about when we're at that point.
That's
Okay.
perfect. The earlier you can submit it, the earlier I get to look at it and do what I have to do. That is really good. The rubric that we all use is right here. We also, I think, have the solution to it out here too. Practice that solution's going to be there, and we'll go from there. So pretty much everything that we need is out there for you for that common assessment. Is that any questions, comments, concerns? It's pretty straightforward. It'll give the kids a workout, but it'll, you know, the nice part about it is it forces them to really think accounting, not just put a couple of numbers in the computer and hope things come out the right way. They really have to learn what's behind it.
If I remember correctly, a couple transactions were approached differently than our Cengage textbooks. So you can see up there prepaid rent, instead of just debiting rent expense. First,
Yeah,
considering it an
it's
asset,
prepaid, it's
then
an
they're
asset,
adjusting it at the end.
Right.
So they're kind of doing opposite of how we teach it. And I think salary expense might be like that too. Is it?
Salary.
Something might be different. Prepaid salary?
Might be prepaid or any salaries payable.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
it.
salaries
That was
payable.
it. That was approached a little bit differently.
But that'd be a liability, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
So-
Yep, be a liability until we
Mhm.
pay that thing off.
As an expense. So your book was teaching it as an expense? Your regular text,
Which one?
what you would use in class without?
Mhm.
I start with 5-column journal, and then we go into corporations, where we go into the general journals.
Nice.
So, yeah, we just about finished the cycle for a corporation.
Oh, beautiful.
So, yeah, they get both
Yeah,
worlds.
Nice, very good.
So what, your book though, I can't remember now exactly. When you pay your employees, are you debiting salary expense, crediting cash, and all the liabilities?
Yeah, if there are no accrued wages over the end of a month or anything like that.
Right.
Then it would just be, debit, salary, expense, credit, cash.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone teaching the 100 level accounting? Or am I the only one? I'm teaching 100 and 110.
I'm not.
I'm not teaching the 100. Or have you taught it before?
No.
The 100, isn't it the one that's more like a marketing plan?
It is. It's a lot more terminology basic, kind
Mine's
of
110
based.
and, like, it was, my class, I'm sorry, I just cut you off.
Mhm.
But when it was evaluated, my course was for the 100 level, the 110 level, and then whatever's after the 110, is that 120? I'm not sure what.
Yeah,
next class
those are
would
our
be.
two principles, and then it could go into managerial accounting, it could go
Okay, well, I
into.
just would do like the two basic, I
Okay.
guess, principles. But I was told that I should do the 100 and the 110 level, but I don't think I should be doing the one, I don't think my class right now counts as the 100 level. I think it should count as the 110 level, and then the next, how do I do that? Can I
We need
change
to touch base with Melissa Murray
Okay.
on that.
Okay.
And she can
Because I was
make
looking
that
over the
determination.
syllabus, because I hadn't looked at it this year,
Right.
it was kind of,
And I think pretty much with the way the program the accounting program has changed, with the AAS in accounting gone, and we just have the AS in accounting, I think the 100 is going to be going by the wayside soon, that course anyway. Because, that's the one course in our program that doesn't transfer well, because it's too basic. The first transfer course in accounting is 110.
okay.
But any information, if you're not sure about a course, we have over here somewhere, we have the PowerPoint will be over here that will talk about, I'm missing it. Where is it? Oh, here it is. And this will kind of, every course we have a PowerPoint set up that will kind of walk you through the theory of the course, what we'd like you to kind of do in a course. And the big purpose for those PowerPoints is just to make sure folks are comfortable as they get in and start teaching the course. That's another NASEP requirement. We've got to give folks an orientation to the course before we ask them to teach it. So that's out there for every course too. What do you think, folks? Questions, comments, concerns?
I have a question.
Sure, Beth.
I don't know if I had an older version of this, maybe
Mhm.
I did sit in on Dan's 2 years ago when I
Okay.
was deciding whether I should do this or not. And, or I printed it from there maybe during the summer, I'm not sure which, but These percentages are different on the one that I have in my car, actually. It has a 20% for the practice set, and there was no My Accounting Lab. Do you do anything with this My Accounting Lab? Should I be concerned, like I don't know what that is?
No, I'll have to check that syllabus to make sure that that is the most.
I know at our school, we've come up with different weights for our classes this year.
Well, I can easily weight it within my grading program where it will automatically
Right.
weight things the way they're supposed to be.
Right.
But I absolutely know it said 20% for the practice set, and it was, a lot of the other ones look the same. But
Right.
I guess, I don't know that I told the kids or gave the kids the right one of those now. Now I'm a little concerned.
I'll tell you what, go with what you've given the kids
Okay.
already.
I mean, I can show you that when you come out, the
Okay,
difference
yeah,
between those.
and it's just gonna be a couple percentage points here and there.
Well, I mean, most of it's similar, very similar. I just think that the practice set was 20, and I think like tests and quizzes ended up being about 70, 20, and then maybe 10 was homework or something to that, or 5 was homework, and it was 75 for like assessments that were tests and quizzes. So don't stress about it.
No, don't stress about it. If
Okay.
you've already given it out to the kids, that's fine,
Okay.
that's fine. That'll be okay. Not a problem at all.
So this, My Accounting Lab is nothing I should worry about?
You can just use homework for that.
Okay.
That's what I did.
Just
That was-
homework.
Yeah.
That's just homework.
Okay, all right,
Whatever you want to do in terms of homework,
Okay.
that's what I'd use for it too.
all right.
So. Okay, so what do we use all this assessment stuff for? And I have looks like this. This is kind of what we do toward the end. And this is a marketing class that I did under our old system. But this kind of gives you the gist of what we do with all of this data that comes in. And you certainly don't have to read through all this stuff, but the use of the results, I think, is the most important thing, because under the use of the results, those are the changes that we did make based on all of the assessments that we've been into. If you take a look at the very bottom of the page, for example, in the last column, it's number 2. It starts with overall. Overall, the groups did not meet the standard in spring 2000 semester. In fall 2013, the project will be used again. Instructors spend more time explaining project requirements and expectations. So, I spent more time on the areas that the kids were weak the next semester and assessed it again, and the results were better. So that's kind of that form that we get back from you folks that we aggregate. That's what we use it for, to try to make changes. I had in my small business management class, and I think it was my marketing class also, just last year, based on feedback from adjuncts and my own difficulties, I changed my grading rubric. I had some things in my grading rubric. I had a couple of them that were multifaceted, and I have 15 points, and now I don't know how I want to split them up among these 2 things. So I changed the rubric and split them out into 2 single things, and it just made it a whole lot easier, a lot more clear for the instructors, a lot more clear for the students as to how they're being assessed. But those are the types of changes that we make as a result of these assessments. So, and I have more junk on there. I have the marketing project, should you want to take a look at it, and the grading rubric that we used that semester. And because I'm the way I am, the last page here this is how all the groups did and everything in terms of advanced proficiency and proficiency and all that kind of stuff, and I assigned numbers to it. And if you take a look at the bottom, the 2 areas of weakness, there are actually 3 areas of weakness that I had to work on that fall semester. The brand name, well, they were proficient. They were barely above proficient. The same thing in the pricing, but the promotional mix, they were just proficient in the promotional mix. I wanted them to be better than that. So as I kind of crunched my numbers, that's what I found. And we made changes. So that's in a nutshell. That's what we're doing in terms of outcomes assessment. And do you have any questions, comments, concerns? Not too bad. The future direction of the business program, the accounting program's solid. My one concern with the accounting program is, since Dan left, we've hired a temporary full-time person to take over the program. So we don't necessarily have a full-time person who's watching the program. As department head, I'm kind of keeping oversight on it, but I'd rather have a full-time faculty member in there, teaching it every day and moving it forward. I believe the accounting program is up for its program review next year. Once every 5 years, we do a comprehensive review of the program. We take a look at things like enrollment, and we look at the money that it generates and what its goals are and what we need to do within the future. So that's coming next year, and I just did one on a business management program this year, so I hope we hire a full-time accounting person soon, so I don't have to do one on that one next year. But it's a really comprehensive, it's a comprehensive thing. The business management program is doing really well. We have very strong enrollment in that program, both in-house, online, and through ACE. So we're doing really well there. We also, another program that we have is our business administration degree, and that's specifically designed. I worked with professors from Juniata's business school, and we kind of designed that, and it fits in with this thing called TAOC, which means it will transfer to the state schools, and they'll accept a minimum of 30 credits from this program, and they accept a lot more than 30 credits, but that's the minimum. Okay, so that one's doing really well too. That's our newest program, so it has the lowest enrollment, but it's grown pretty steadily. So we're very solvent in the business area. PAtrack.org. The transfer, how courses will transfer, specific courses. Let me get in and mess around with it if you don't mind for a minute. I think somewhere here on ACE 2, Melissa references PAtrack, but I'm not sure exactly. Let me click on this thing and see. And all the key dates are in here and everything too, folks. Transfer adults. I'm just not sure where they have it here. I know it's on the ACE page somewhere. Yeah, here it is, PAtrack. It's right under. If you go to the ACE page and you go under transfer and adult students, there's a link to it. Okay. And if we click on it and we want to transfer courses, okay, tells you how to do it. Here's what I like to go under. I like to go under that search for equivalencies. Okay. Any source college, let's do Pennsylvania Highlands. Jeez. Let's scroll down. Pennsylvania Highlands Community College. Where do we want to transfer to, you guys? IUP?
Sure.
All right. And then you hit search. And luckily, we should be near the top. Okay. So the ACC 110 goes to IUP as Accounting 201. And it'll show you the Intermediate Accounting 2 goes as an elective. Automated Accounting goes as Automated Accounting, whatever their course numbers are for Automated Accounting. But that's a really powerful tool for your students and their mom and dads. If the students know they want to go to IUP or St. Francis or take a look at PAtrack, and it's a really nice tool to show them so they can make really informed decisions about the courses that they take in high school, and they'll know how they'll work with their programs at the school they're transferring to. So that's a neat one. So questions, comments, concerns? Not too bad? I know everybody hates getting out early, but if there are no questions, I'll certainly stay. If anybody has any individual questions, I'd be glad to do that.
I'll wait.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk. And I think Melissa has somewhere in that packet that evaluation to fill out. If you could just anonymously fill that out, maybe put it face down, and Beth, I'll shoot you an email. I've got to come out sometime.
Right,
this
let me know
semester.
when.
Okay.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
my class is around 10:15 to almost 11.
Okay.
It's like in that time frame.
Okay.
You know, they're weird times, so
Okay,
it's like
that's okay.
10, 18 or
That's
something.
okay. I'm used to working around high school
Okay,
times,
so,
so that's not a problem.
If you're morning, you know.
Do you teach it on Thursdays?
I teach it every day.
Okay.
So-
I'll shoot you an email some Thursday. This semester, the only days I have to go out really are Thursdays. They have me all over the place.
Thursdays are
otherwise.
good.
So,
Yeah, just let me know
I
when.
don't think you've ever been out for me, because last year I didn't have any students. We
Okay.
offered it, but I didn't have any
Mhm.
students.
was Dan ever out, Carol?
No.
Yeah, they-
Just in general, he came out, but he never came out to observe.
They might have me come out in the spring for you.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what those aren't is they're not evaluations of your teaching. The whole job when we go out to sit in on the courses is to determine equivalency. Is it equivalent to the on-campus version? That's the whole purpose of those things. And Karen's had me in her classroom before, and it's a pretty painless thing for the most part.
McCurdy came to see me. my
Okay,
first
yeah,
year.
then-
It really is helpful because I remember God bless her, she looked at the test, one of the tests I had given, and she said, wow, so there's a whole lot of material for these kids to have done in that amount of time. And I thought I was trying to do college level, you know, I
Yeah.
thought, ooh, I'm really challenging them. And so she kind of gave me tips. It was really, we had like a little after session. So should I plan an after session? If Adam can cover my class?
If he can, yeah, because we can
do not want to do
get,
that.
so what I like to kind of go over what I saw in the class and just talk with you to get any feedback from you that I can get about the course or anything.
Now, are your kids separated out in a class all around for your ACE program? Because I know I have like almost 40 kids, and only 3 of them are taking ACE programs, so I've geared my class towards the bulk of the kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, some of my assessments are a little different. I go more heavy on the performance. Show me that you understand the procedures and
Right.
stuff more than on the theory and that kind of thing.
Yeah. And like I said, as long as anything, you hit those competencies, as long as the competencies are covered, that's beautiful. That's what we're looking to do.
Okay. So if we have a visit, you'll have to just make sure you give me a call, because a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of times the kids, they won't do homework outside of class, so most of the time
Sure.
they're working on problems.
Yeah.
Right, sometimes that's.
Maybe 2 days I teach a lesson, and then the rest of it.
And you know, with these visits, there are no surprise visits because, you know, we teach too. We've got to work around our
But I don't
teaching
want you to
schedules.
come for anything
Yeah.
wasted, you know what
That's
I mean?
okay, yeah, we'll make arrangements whenever you're good. I sure as heck don't want to come out when somebody's giving an exam or anything. It doesn't do me any good, so, but that'll be good.
Okay, now, that takes me to my other question. Because of the way you break down your percentages on what's tests, mine are not even close to that. Mine are weighted differently.
Same here.
Yeah, we like, if you can, for the ACE courses, for the ACE students, if you can, you know, weight them close to the percentages that we have on the syllabus.
So if we just keep it separate from our grade book on
Sure.
another piece of paper or
Absolutely,
something?
because for those students, you will be assigning 2 grades. You'll be assigning their high school grade and their college grade
Right.
for that class. So yes, if you can kind of keep close to our percentages.
I never
for that.
give them homework credit, that's why I saw 10% homework, they don't get the homework. They
Right.
say, what, I said, well, a basketball player, they practice and practice foul shots, do they get anything from it? No, but when they make it at a game,
That counts.
that's when they know it counts.
Yeah, it's a small, as an institution, we've gotten smaller and smaller with homework percentages over the years. So, because honestly.
Because they don't get to take their test till I see the problems, so
Oh, nice.
that's an incentive for
Yeah,
them.
good.
I don't see it, you don't take your test.
You bet. You bet. Anything else for the good of the order before I shut this down and we talk about other stuff?
Fine.